Leanne Zinsmeister, Managing Editor with Nation's Restaurant News. I'm here on day one of the National Restaurant Association show, and I am joined by Erin Newkirk, the Chief Brand and Marketing Officer for Caribou Coffee. Thank you for joining me, Erin.
Thanks for having me. It's a mouthful. You did a great job.
Thank you so much. I got all the words. I got my own name right. That's always impressive for me.
Totally.
How's your show been so far?
Oh, it's been great. It's just, as you said, day one, but it's amazing. Actually, this is my first show. Really? And just walking around, seeing all the booths, it's inspiring, actually. Yeah.
Are you
a fun industry?
Yeah, well, it's the best.
Yeah.
Are you looking for anything in particular or just taking it all in?
I'm taking it all in. Okay. We actually work with a bunch of great partners, but, just trying the Nathan's hot dogs. I'm in Chicago, so I gotta sample a little bit of the local flair, too.
Yeah, some hot dogs, some deep dish pizza.
Yes, totally.
Yeah, it's a good time. So you're with Caribou, as I said.
Yes.
Something I want to talk about before we get to the meat of this interview is the beverage segments in general right now. If I say the buzziest segment in the restaurant industry. How does an established brand like Caribou compete with these up-and-coming drive-through beverage chains, like all the fun buzzy brands?
Yes.
How do you play?
It's interesting because also I would say there's so many layers to when you talk about the beverage industry. So immediately my head goes to thinking through all the different layers. But there's coffee, there's beverage, there's the blend of coffee and beverage, right? And the fact that you see companies like Caribou, that's historically been a coffee brand, come out with like fruit shakers and energy drinks and some of the other pieces, right? Cold versus hot was a big thing that rocked our industry a couple of years ago, and we see continuing. And I think it all just goes down to meeting our guests and our consumers where they're at. And you really have to innovate around that, not only in like content and campaigns, but also in product and pricing and experience. And so for us, it's just really staying close to who we serve, our team and our guests, and building around them.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so I want to talk about the kind of buzzy marketing news right now.
Yeah.
I heard you're starting a TikTok dating show.
We are. It's so fun.
Let's start with, what is a TikTok dating show?
Well, okay, talk about meeting our guests where they're at.
Sure.
Knowing that we have some really hot summer drinks that are really cool, actually, the fruit shakers and energy drinks specifically, knowing that we wanted to actually make that product introduction relevant, introducing new products, introducing humans. Caribou's all about making connections anyways. You come into our stores and we're known for like our hospitality and our soft seating and wonderful lighting. And, so we see all different sides of people coming together over coffee or a coffee-like beverage. So when you blend the two, knowing that, Gen Z is thinking, okay, I love reality TV. I'm a social and digital native. I'm watching full movies and episodic content on TikTok. We're like, why not? Let's do it. We landed a really great host. I can't talk about her quite yet, but she will be very known.
Keep an eye out.
Yeah, I'll let you know specifically.
Yeah, just tell me.
Yeah.
Later.
Yes.
Perfect.
So it just all came together. And then we were like, let's do something really fun and engaging and interesting. And, we're going to see how it goes.
So how's it going to work? Can you share anything about the format?
Of course. So we actually had a casting call 2 weekends ago. Or was it just last weekend? I don't know. Time flies, especially when you're at a conference where it doesn't feel like time exists.
I keep forgetting it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
So I don't know where we are or what we're doing.
Totally. We had about 100 people come and try out. So we just selected our cast. And the idea is that they are going to come into a very dreamy-like coffee shop set. And they're going to meet each other for the first time with our host and over our beverages. And then we'll see if there's a match. We'll ask some fun questions. It's going to be super funny and engaging. Our host is actually a comedian, so she's hilarious.
Okay.
And the idea is just to be really light. And if the couple hits it off and decides that they want to go on a date, we're going to provide a cool date in a box, and they're going to be off and doing amazing, cool things.
That's cool. It will air on TikTok?
It will air on TikTok. All the episodes will be on TikTok in late June, early July.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Yeah. We've been talking a lot about social media marketing, like as a team and in the industry.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
And across the board. We just did a big project with restaurant industry influencers. Does Caribou work with influencers at all too?
They do.
What's the broader social strategy?
We do. So Gen Z is all about influencers, right? And ambassadors actually too, which is an emerging segment of the influencer. Oh, I know.
So it's cheating again. This millennial cannot keep up.
Yes. So, well, and I think everyone defines it a little bit differently.
Sure.
But the way we look at it, we do work with influencers. So people who have not only great content, but also media ability, right? So they're out there, they have followers, they're able to amplify your news. They work with brands that they trust. So there is that layer of trust, especially with Gen Z. Ambassadors are interesting because they actually have usually smaller followings. So nano or micro influencers creating great content. But the most important thing is that they're very brand first. So they will only work with, I mean, this isn't their job. It's not like their life, they're not earning their whole living being an ambassador, but they're picking individual brands that really mean something to them. And then they're becoming our VIPs, right? So we have our ambassadors in for tastings. We do fun activities. We give them challenges. And if they win the challenges, they get gift cards. And they're posting, creating content for us to actually repost and share. So it's super authentic, incredibly important to Gen Z. So at Caribou, it makes sense for us too, because we're all about real ingredients and, authenticity and how we work and what our experience looks like. So it just seemed like a really good fit to work with influencers and ambassadors to help amplify our brand.
Sure. How do you find these people? Do they approach you? Are you reaching out to social media users?
Sure. It's both. And it's interesting because, my team was like, sure, we can post about the fact that we're launching this ambassador program. We did. We didn't expect to get thousands and thousands of people applying. So that was an interesting piece. And for any brand out there that, has a following, I would definitely recommend posting about it. Having a landing page, you can find out more, et cetera. But then we've also gone into different areas of social that we know are really, that resonate with our brand. So like Book Talk, for example.
Okay.
TikTok. Other, trends and memes and things that we follow, like we actually will reach out to people that we're like, hey, we think you'd be a really great ambassador for us. How do you feel about the Caribou brand? But that brand love has to be there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right, let's dig a little deeper into some of the other things you mentioned. This energy drink craze.
Yes.
I know every coffee chain, and I borrowed this from one of my colleagues, but coffee kind of is the original energy drink. So what drives a brand like Caribou to launch an actual energy drink?
Yeah.
And how do you market that to your audience?
Yeah, sure. It's funny that you say that about coffee. We feel the same way. Coffee is like the OG, yes, exactly. It is. It's my energy drink too. But as we've seen consumption actually go cold from hot, caffeine to colder caffeine overall.
Oh yeah.
People are starting to investigate different taste profiles too. We see energy being more relevant in the afternoon day part. So coffee in the morning, energy in the afternoon, or people who just simply don't like the taste of coffee are going for energy drinks. We're finding that it's really interesting to see, because we're a brand that cares about real and clean, like all of our beverages are very good for you, natural. Not all natural. I got to put that in for legal references, but we definitely like to focus on real vanilla, real chocolate, real caramel, etc. We knew that our energy drinks would have to have that same sort of profile, so that we're still offering our guests the same thing. So we feel like there's a different take to it that hasn't necessarily been done in the past. But again, it's just watching the consumption of the energy category overall, knowing that it's very much compatible with what we're offering as well.
Nice.
And being really honest about how many milligrams of caffeine are in it, and what you can expect when you drink it. Like we're there for that.
Nice. And you do quite a few limited time offer beverages, right?
Yeah, we sure do.
So what drives how do you come up with those? What's your approach to LTOs?
Yeah. Again, trends. I mean, here I feel like a broken record of it, but we study a lot of trends. So our last LTO was lavender this spring. Coincidentally, it was other people's LTO as well.
Everyone had
bigger coffee chains.
True.
Yes, we've seen the rise of botanicals, right? We know that people are looking for lavender type flavors. We do a lot actually looking internationally and globally just to understand what's happening and hitting in other cultures that will soon come to the States and vice versa.
Sure.
So it was a very natural introduction for us. It was great. Our difference was that it was real lavender again. So we have a little bit of a different take than the rest of the category. But yeah, that one was recent. And then I would say this summer, launching our energy and our fruit shakers, they're actually permanent menu items, but we're treating them like LTOs in the sense that they're very new and very different.
Nice.
And very colorful.
Okay, last question. You have some smaller format stores, right?
Sure.
It's not all
drive-through only.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how has that? What drove that? Because those are fairly new.
They are. We introduced them in 2019.
Okay.
And they're these cute little blue, Kara Blue, we call it.
It's cute.
Cabins. It's fun. Thank you. I didn't name it. For my time.
Tell your team.
I will. I'll tell our CEO, actually. They were his brainchild.
Sure. I love it.
But yeah, we have looked at drive-through only.
Sure.
Where we're landing post-COVID and, again, meeting people where they're at and where the world is at is we're seeing actually some optionality in the type of offering that we have. So some community stores, some drive-through only. The placement's really important just based on routines and commute and schedules.
Sure.
So we're strategically placing that, making sure it's like convenient and findable and all that good stuff. So we see a need for both. The thing that's been really interesting is we are seeing people go away from community store only format. Like they want to be able to go to their store, see their baristas, some days drive through, some days order ahead, some days curbside, and some days coming in. So we're really trying to provide that in all the different stores we open.
By meeting your customer right there. Wow, I'm so excited. So, thank you so much for joining me today. This was really fun. Great to have you.